Alright, welcome back to the Gravity Rush Remastered Speedrun Beginner's Guide. This is going to be the no debt route for episodes 10 and 11. Reason why we play these episodes together is because they kind of flow one right into the other. You can't save in between, and episode 11 is just really kind of one big boss fight, so we're just going to play the episodes back to back. Alright, first we are going to check our gem count, so we're at 571. As long as you're around that, that's fine. Doesn't need to be exactly that. If it's like more than 550, you're pretty much good. We're at Gauge Usage 5, Kick 3, Stasis Field 2, and Typhoon 3. Alright, first thing we're going to do, run into the house, mash the square button so we can warp to that manhole we just picked up in the last episode. And then we are going to move up and to the right. Going to kick up to this set of gems here, grab these ones above the building. Then we're going to grab the ones up here, grab a couple on the roof, and then we're going to start the episode. As long as you're above 700-ish, then you should be fine. Okay, so we're going to be in a special state we like to call Sick Dusty in this rift. So Dusty ate some bad cookies, and now our gauge usage is very, very fast, but also our recovery time is fast. So one kick will use your complete gauge, but you also recover it in about a second instead of 4 seconds, so we can still move pretty quickly in this rift, even though we have very little gauge to use. Alright, first thing we're going to do, we're going to kill this guy, bait out the shark, so just make sure you run away so he doesn't actually hit you, and then we can kill him. Note one thing, Nevi can actually attack and kill each other, so that's kind of helpful. It auto-targeted the one in the back. Okay, we are going to make sure we RGK these guys. Level 3 kick, you will have to RGK. So here you'll see we're going to kick, it's going to use up our entire gauge, but before we even start falling, we're going to get our gauge back, so we can still pretty much like maintain our momentum. Wait for it to come back. Okay, gonna kill him. Now these enemies are called Spinies, and you want to make sure that you are attacking them. So what they do is they do their little like expand attack here, and then they are gonna contract, and once they contract is only when they're vulnerable. So whenever you fight Spinies, you need to make sure that you do put a focus on them while they're vulnerable so that you don't have to like sit there and wait for them to use their attack again. Alright, so we got blue gems, a trail of blue gems here. We're gonna follow these gems, and then we are gonna grab these, and as soon as the enemies spawn, you're gonna want to use Gravity Typhoon. So we're gonna kill him. Make sure you tag these flyers, but again, your Gravity Typhoon should be strong enough to just kill all of them pretty easily. The Walker does drop a 25. If you need to grab it, then you can if you're a little low on gems, but not necessary. Kick across this set at 25, grab the blue, get these 30, and then we're gonna get straight up to Micro Black Hole. So Micro Black Hole is only like really good against one boss in the entire game, but it is so good against that boss that it is worth picking up at this tree right here. As soon as we get that, we're at about 1,000 gems, so we're gonna get Gravity Kick level 4, and then we're gonna start this next fight up here. On this fight, you want to make sure you focus the grounded enemies first, just because they will kind of move around a lot, and the Nevi that are in the air do not actually move, they just attack you. It's also kind of nice that they do drop some blue gems, so just look for the ones that drop blue gems and try to use it if you can. Grab that. Okay. Alright, and then we're going to kick over here, and we're going to trigger a fight that I like to call the Flower Tower, or the Tower Flower. Its official name is Lagon, but basically this boss is going to be, there's a bunch of flowers scattered around the tower, these little ones that we have to kill first, and then we'll open up the big one and we have to kill the main one. The annoying thing is that when they close up, they do become invincible, but because they are stationary, they're not too hard to double kick, and all it takes is 2 kicks to kill them. So if you can't double kick them, just make sure to RGK. Okay, this mushroom. Get over here. Got one last one. You always want to wait until you see the auto target come up. You got that double kick. Here. Once he opens up. Alright, and that's going to be episode 10. So what we're going to do is the cutscene's going to be right as soon as the camera switches over to Cat. You see Dusty in the back. Okay, so this is episode 11 starting out immediately. This first part is kind of strange. It's like this kind of weird auto-scroller that you can speed up. So basically each time you kill a flower, it's going to trigger the next part of the scene, but the scene will automatically progress even if you don't kill them. It's just way faster to do it. Fastest you can do this, I think, is somewhere around like 30-ish seconds. But basically what you're going to want to do is you have to wait a tiny little bit in between killing the flowers. If you immediately kill them back to back, sometimes it won't trigger the next one, and like that flower will just be wasted. So we're gonna start by immediately kicking down, then we're gonna kick to the flower that's right next to the little silo on the right, then we're gonna gravity typhoon a flower off in the distance, and then we're gonna kill the last one. Okay, so we're gonna start, we're gonna kick immediately down. Oh, he just went invincible. Okay. Gonna double kick that one. Now we're gonna go over here, we're gonna grab these gems, kick this guy. Okay. Alright, now we're gonna gravity typhoon this one off in the distance. As soon as he dies, we're gonna point the rocks at this one. Use up the rest of them. Because it is still gonna take a good amount of time before. Okay, so that's gonna trigger the cutscene. And as soon as you see the Nevi pass the pillar, that flying one over there, that's gonna be when the cutscene skip is. Alright, now we got Flower Tower 2, and we're basically just gonna work our way up, kill all the flowers, and then he's gonna open up at the top. Something to note, he does deal, and the final part of the flower does deal an insane amount of damage, and because we have level 1 health, he will two-shot you. So if you do take a hit, you gotta be pretty careful. You might have enough gems to upgrade health, and that will actually give you a free full heal. Oh, didn't get the double. Ah, he went. Yeah, there's a lot of bullets flying around in this episode too, so you gotta be careful. Ah! Wow. Okay, there we go. Alright, so you just have to be careful about your health here. Sometimes, if you die, it's a very, very big time loss too. So you just want to make sure that doesn't happen. You'll see him kind of rear up before he does his attack, so you can just press L1 to drop out of range of it. Ah, like that. Okay. And that's going to be episode 11. So that was super risky. I was pretty close to death, but I was comfortable with how he works. So I would be pretty cautious about that when you're first running the game, just so that you don't die there, because that's a gigantic time loss. Alright, so the cutscene skip here is obviously when Kat's looking back at Dusty right here, and then once you skip that cutscene, that's gonna be the end of episode 10 and 11. Alright, so again, if you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next episode.